Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Seems the highways
blasted book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow, that's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
There's a storm coming, Sid. Will there be thunder?
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, A Culinary Pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Saint-Brecois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Saint-Brecois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete. Good morrow to you, my friend. I only hope that, if not, I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. You wish to study the tomes?
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, The ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hating people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye.
Lady Karen. How's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait, what exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalamil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No. No. I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
Will we ever see the sun again?
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canville was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
The bandits may be new, but look what they've left us with. We've a hard time putting this place back.
Mummy,
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
are the bad men going to come back?
No, darling. The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch. Perhaps.
Could be I know something more.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Dalimil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, But if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this store he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
You too, Goots.
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch. Perhaps. What a mess. Where do we even start? You fought very bravely.
The safety of the town is in our hands.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
This one. Sick Get him. All yours, Torgal.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind. fucking coward! I need to find Goots. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Blood?
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goops, no.
Enough, all of you!
Karen.
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye? Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It isn't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make... I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
Look, Daddy. It's shining so brightly.
Did you hear that Martha's been turning? There's away. Her beds are full of bearers. I was starting to wonder.
Scouts have reported seeing more Akashic on Rhiannon's ride.
Can hardly make out a bloomin' thing. Oh, for a sunny.
Get him!
We're not alone.
Get him! Over here! Nice try. Go for it! Over here! All yours, Torvald!
This one's awake. Let's see what's inside. Just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. Hungry, Torgal? Sick 'em! This one! Now, will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago. Those things I said before about not being able to fight.
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Oh my.
Otto asked me to give it to you, to settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to...
You disappoint me. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the Hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, and for Otto's, for all of us. For all you've done.
Otto is lucky to have you. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway...
Otto had a son.
Long ago. Yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met an ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded.
I'm beginning to see that. Goat will want to know the stones were delivered, if he's still with us.
We're still alive, aren't we?
Yeah, but only because of the Dane.
To the meadows, then.
Sick him! Throw to him! Get him! Over here!
Hippocrates said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. This must be our wyvern. Right. Let's get this over with.
Sick him!
That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back.
Seems the Hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, Did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look in.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better?
Blueback wyvern liver. And,
Wyvern livers, was it? Well, now then, you stay right where you are. Let's out these grand old... And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for
And rightly so. Is there...
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of...
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right.
Decent. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen...
I'll give it some thought.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you? So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with...
You can, aye. I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me.
I was just on my way to see him.
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
There's a storm coming, Sid. Will there be thunder?
Ah, were you able to locate...
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction.
Very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way.
Ah. But that reminds me. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's...
About how she somehow woke...
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one, the Fenrir of legend, served Shiva, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to...
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been done, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword.
He has seemed more...
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed.
Oh. see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye, all their fancy silk-stained
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Where would he be at Martha's Rest?
Me you saw that.
Goat. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. But she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. I mean...
How may I help you today, Clive? You earned this. Come again. I may have more for you.
Oh, the moon. For that matter.
Lady Karen. Goat tells me you won. Would you prefer the debt was repaid?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me out. I may have tossed a talent or two in the hideaways, but those were donations. And you can hardly call it charity if you go...
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who...
Oh, so you're fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talent. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only... You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. Or something.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass beyond that.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy...
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond...
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid?
Before he died. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship. He bought passage to... We set up drinking island rum till the morning. Quit my post not long after that. But me and Sid stayed close. Promising we'd one day...
That was before fate's the magic woke inside my son soon after his first name, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have?
My family wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how that... Luckily, it was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me. Him who swore he'd do everything.
And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong I knew then.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me, just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction, and I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye, all their fancy silk stained red.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't stop until...
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would you...
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way I see else...
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't...
Speak for yourself. The heavy...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with... All right. Every piece has its... If even one of them is missing, the scales won't... You already know one of the pieces. The body. This is called the arm.
You're right.
You've ridden a chocobo.
I'll think about...
Hold things.
Good thinking. You're on the... This tiny piece is what's called...
I have.
She puts them in all her inventions.
That's right.
I remember the art.
Not my fault.
You know what part's supposed to move, so...
Not a bad idea. These round...
I do. Molly uses, but these aren't for frying bangers. But what if I wanted to wear goots?
Probably not.
What are the chains for?
Well spotted. So...
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body.
And the arms go on the body, just like... And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Ah, all finished.
Yes.
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's hairs. Yeah, hairs for the...
What do you think, Sid?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley.
You hear that?
Until then, though, do try to be honest with me.
Hey, look. We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think...
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She'd have them follow in her footsteps.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva.
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of... To anyone else it would be an opportunity. But to Mid, who lost both her parents to war. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life.
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very...
My lord Marquis, it is you. Then I am Sebastian Rutherford.
Of course.
Yes, my lord.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put...
1,000 apologies, my lord.
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. The gears of governance have ground to a halt. And without a steady, the realm... Your lord...
That sounds like...
It is.
Alas.
I have lost They are both able...
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the...
That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Thank you, my lord.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Let's continue to work together in defending Delaware. I foresee good things for this town.
Especially with Lubor leading us. I'd say he has the makings of a minister.
Lubor did well to bring Conrad with.
You fought very bravely. We would have been lost without you.
I think you would have all been there.
The bandits may be no more, but look what they've left us with. We've a hard time putting this...
Mummy, are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch. Perhaps.
Are you looking for something in particular? Go with Gilbert.
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty out.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master. If you...
Or you can go back to your...
Oh, you're more. He hasn't had me.
All yours,
Get him!
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faith.
Much has changed in the Republican Army.
You've seen this kind of thing before?
Many times.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I arrived and his men
The captain is no more.
Fortunate.
What of the Fist Central... Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness.
I would imagine they are those who weren't recalled.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow...
Not at all. No. If he was bound for... There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
If you're with the they've already...
I'm not. I'm not...
Then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford.
Of the Seven High Houses, it's been a long time since last I... Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. I was on my way back from the old capital.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You...
Thank you.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy. This one.
You don't need to tell me twice.
This looks to be all.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by, as ill might befall the heir to.
It's just Clive. And I'm fine, which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attempt.
The garrison have. There are few hands left. The market stalls. And when I said the.
Rockford, if you are to continue you first need to seek the.
I shall repent.
Don't think.
I shall.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece. I see you.
The rest, speaking of which,
I only happen to be in them. They both seem.
I am afraid that Storm isn't, and we,
as it is mine.